You ever notice that the people flashing the most luxury on your feed are usually the ones closest to total financial ruin? This is the dark trap of synthetic status. Society has programmed you to believe that looking successful is the exact same thing as being wealthy. You spend money you do not have, to buy things you do not need, to impress strangers on the internet who do not even care about you. A financial window to escape this specific psychological trap is closing today. With the rapid expansion of social media algorithms engineered to monetize your envy, the corporate system is perfecting its wealth extraction models at lightning speed. If you click away from this video and continue to blindly fund your fake empire, you are voluntarily signing a contract to remain permanently broke. We'll bleed your active income to luxury brands and commercial banks until the day you retire. The cost of ignoring this reality is the absolute loss of your future freedom. But if you stay, I will reveal the exact psychological architecture the 1% uses to reject the zero-sum status game, keep their capital completely hidden, and build true generational equity. This is the financial blueprint that the modern consumer matrix desperately wants to keep hidden from you. The man in the car paradox. To understand why looking rich guarantees your poverty, you must fundamentally change how you view your relationship with other people. Ask yourself a brutally honest question. Who are you buying that for? When you finance a luxury vehicle, upgrade to the newest smartphone, or purchase designer clothes, you tell yourself that you are doing it for your own enjoyment. But the brutal truth is that modern capitalism is incredibly efficient at two things: generating wealth and generating envy. Your ambition to make money is constantly being outpaced by your subconscious desire to spend it, specifically to signal your position in the social hierarchy. We tend to judge wealth by what we see because that is the only information we have in front of us. We cannot see people's bank accounts. We cannot see their brokerage statements or their massive credit card debts. So we rely on outward appearances to gauge financial success. We see the cars, the homes, and the Instagram photos, but this creates a fatal illusion. Let us expose the brutal paradox of the man in the car. When you see someone driving a $100,000 Ferrari, you rarely look at them and think, "Wow, the guy driving that car is really cool and successful." Instead, you think, "Wow, if I had that car, people would think I am cool." This is a subconscious trap that destroys the middle class. People want wealth to signal to others that they should be liked and admired. But in reality, those other people bypass admiring you completely. They do not care about you. They use your wealth as a benchmark for their own desire to be liked and admired. You spent $100,000 of borrowed capital to buy respect, but you bought nothing but your own invisibility. You became a nameless mannequin holding a steering wheel. No one cares about you. They only care about the object and how it would elevate their own status. Zero-sum status game. The reason you rely so heavily on external validation is because you are playing the wrong psychological game. You are playing the status game. Status is a primitive, deeply ingrained social ranking system. But here is the critical rule you must understand. Status is a zero-sum game. In order for you to move up in the social hierarchy, someone else must be pushed down. It is a competitive, endless treadmill where everyone is fighting to show off their relative position. When you buy a luxury item to signal your success, you are attempting to assert dominance over your peers. But because it is a zero-sum game, your peers will simply take on more debt to buy an even more expensive item to regain their position. You are draining your finite capital just to decrease the relative status of a stranger. The elite understand that playing the status game is a mathematically guaranteed way to stay broke. Wealth creation is a positive-sum game. When you build a business, write a piece of code, or create a digital product, you are generating value that did not exist before. You are building equity. You can get wealthy without making anyone else poor. But when you play the status game, you are willingly transferring your hard-earned wealth to the corporations that manufacture the status symbols. You are enriching them while impoverishing yourself. The loudest people in the room are usually the brokest. The middle class uses debt to shout about their success, desperate for validation. The true 1% build their empires in absolute silence. They refuse to play the zero-sum game because they know that showing off your money is the absolute fastest way to lose it. Wealth is what you do not see. To escape the luxury trap, you must learn the critical difference between being rich and being wealthy. This is not just semantics. Not knowing the difference is the source of countless catastrophic money decisions. Rich is a current income. It is visible. The person driving the financed luxury car is rich because they generate enough cash flow to make the heavy monthly payments. The person wearing head-to-toe designer clothing is rich. It is not hard to spot rich people. They often go out of their way to make themselves known, but wealth is hidden. Wealth is income not spent. Wealth is the luxury cars not purchased, the diamonds not bought, the first-class upgrades declined. Wealth is financial assets that have not yet been converted into the stuff you see. This is highly counterintuitive because you cannot contextualize what you cannot see. The singer Rihanna almost went bankrupt after overspending and sued her financial advisor. The advisor famously responded in court. Was it really necessary to tell her that if you spend money on things, you will end up with the things and not the money? It sounds like a joke, but the middle class falls for this trap every single day. When most people say they want to be a millionaire, what they actually mean is, I want to spend $1 million. And spending $1 million is literally the exact opposite of being a millionaire. The only way to build wealth is to not spend the money that you have. It is not just the only way to accumulate wealth, it is the very definition of wealth. Think of it like diet and exercise. Losing weight is notoriously difficult, even among those who exercise vigorously. The reason is that people overestimate how many calories they burn in a workout, and then they reward themselves by consuming twice as many calories as they just burned. Exercise is like being rich. You think, I did the work, I earned the paycheck, now I deserve to treat myself to a massive purchase. Wealth is turning down that massive purchase. It requires immense self-control. It creates a gap between what you could do and what you choose to do that compounds massively over time. Your expensive clothes and your financed cars are an illusion. They are tools designed to help you look rich while mathematically guaranteeing that you never become wealthy. Destruction of your room for error. When you worship synthetic status and normalize lifestyle inflation, you destroy the most vital component of financial survival, your room for error. Every time you get a raise and immediately upgrade your lifestyle to match it, you are eliminating your margin of safety. You are betting all your chips on the assumption that you will never lose your job, that the economy will never crash, and that you will never face an unexpected medical emergency. Debt used for consumption is the enemy of survival. When you use borrowed capital to fund a fake empire, you are operating with zero room for error. If a recession hits, the person with zero debt and high cash reserves has options. They can wait for a better job, or they can buy assets at a massive discount. But the person who is obsessed with maintaining a wealthy appearance, drowning in car leases and credit card payments, gets completely wiped out. The game is over, and they are removed from the board. Margin of safety is the only effective way to safely navigate a world that is governed by odds, not certainties. The elite understand that financial survival is the ultimate strategy. A high savings rate, zero consumer debt, and a quiet, hidden lifestyle give you the flexibility to survive unpredictable economic crashes. You must prioritize being financially unbreakable over looking rich. The highest dividend money pays. If wealth is what you do not spend, what is the point of having it? The greatest intrinsic value of money, and this cannot be overstated, is its ability to give you control over your time. Highest form of wealth is the ability to wake up every single morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. It is the ability to wait for a good job opportunity instead of being forced to take the first one you find. It is the ability to walk away from a toxic boss without a second thought. It is the ability to retire when you want to, not when you need to. Using your money to buy time and options has a lifestyle benefit that few luxury goods can ever compete with. When you do not have control over your time, you are forced to accept whatever bad luck is thrown your way. But if you have flexibility, you have the time to wait for obvious opportunities to fall into your lap. This is the hidden return of your unspent capital. The transition from an obedient consumer to a sovereign architect requires a complete rewiring of your financial psychology. You must audit your life for illusions. Look at your daily purchases and your desire for social validation. Are you building an unbreakable fortress of independence, or are you just funding a fake empire for Instagram? Every dollar you save by rejecting the status game is a dollar that buys you a piece of your future freedom. Poverty is a series of reactive, emotional decisions based on the desperate need to look successful. Wealth is a series of proactive, structured choices based on long-term survival, absolute ownership, and total silence. The system was perfectly engineered to extract your capital by manipulating your ego. Now it is your turn to hack the system. Take back your margin of safety. Reject the zero-sum game. Keep your capital hidden. Hit the subscribe button as your declaration of independence. Are you going to keep buying things for people who do not care about you, or are you ready to buy your freedom? Master your mind. Build your system. See you in the next protocol.